A very good morning, children. I hope you all are staying safe at your home. Children, welcome back to the English online class. Today we are going to study the first flight book, chapter number 3, two stories about flying. Children, in this chapter we have two parts. The first part is his first flight and the second part is the black aeroplane. Today we are going to start the first part, his first flight by Lamb O. Ferretti. But before that, let me give you the short introduction of the chapter. His first flight, the story by Lamb O. Ferretti is an account of a young bird that is afraid to fly for the first time. He believes that his wings would not support him, despite his younger siblings flying fearlessly with much shorter wings. He could not gather the courage to do the same. He was punished to stay hungry if he did not try. Thus, it was his mother that compelled him to fly by using food as a trap. The lesson reflects how one hesitates to take the first step and that fear is all in mind. One should trust one's abilities because the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. So this was the short introduction of the chapter. Now let us move ahead towards the word meaning. The first word is seagull. Seagull is a bird that lives near the sea and has short legs, long wings, and white and grey feathers. The second is ledge. Ledge is a narrow horizontal shelf protecting from a wall, a cliff. Third is brink, and the meaning is the extreme edge of land before a steep slope or a body or water. Fourth is expanse, and the meaning is a wide continuous area of something. Now the fifth word is flapped, and the meaning is move up and down when flying or preparing to fly. And the sixth word is muster, which means gather. Seventh word is plunge, meaning is jump or dive. Eighth word is shrilly, and the meaning of shrilly is with a high pitched and piercing voice or sound. Now the ninth word is upbraiding, which means to scold. 10th word is devour, means to eat quickly. 11th word is cackle, meaning is laugh in a loud or harsh way. 12th word is cowardice, which means lack of bravery. So these were the word meanings. Now let's move towards the explanation of the chapter. The story is about a young seagull who is at that stage of life where he has to learn to fly, unlike his younger brothers and sisters. He is too afraid to fly. When all of them went for flying for the first time near the edge of the sea, all of them except him succeeded. He could not trust his wings. He got terrified by the vast sea and got convinced that he could never fly. As a result, he was ashamed and disheartened and thus went inside the ledge where usually he slept. His younger siblings managed to take their first flight despite their wings being shorter than his. But he could not summon the courage, though he tried so desperately. He was scolded by his parents for not trying again, but he was so afraid that he could not even move. Now he had been alone for a day. After he tried because his parents were busy focusing on his siblings. They helped his siblings master the art of flying and diving for food, that is, the fish. His older siblings even caught his first fish, which he proudly ate at a rock, while his parents celebrated it. That morning, his parents taunted him all the way for being a coward. The sun had now risen and he was feeling the heat more than ever because he was empty stomach since the night before. He stepped out of his ledge and pretended to sleep on one leg to gain the attention of his family. Still, no one noticed him. His siblings were sleeping. His father was cleaning his feathers with his beak, and his mother was standing on another plateau eating fish while she noticed him. The seagull got mad on seeing the fish because he was very hungry. He loved to tear away fish and scrape his beak now and then. He cried in hunger to his mom while his mother screamed back angrily, but he kept crying, which soon turned into a joyful scream at the sight of his mother flying towards him with a piece of fish. He got excited as she came nearer and thus leaned forward. Suddenly, she stopped, not too far from him. Out of excitement and hunger, he dived at the fish without realizing for a moment that he was afraid to fly. He got so excited that he fell as soon as he tried. For a moment, he was in shock and stood still, out of terror. All this lasted only for a moment, and soon his feathers opened as he flied. He could feel the wind against his breast feathers, stomach, and his wings. He could feel himself cutting through the air. He was not afraid anymore. He was just a bit nervous, but then his mother accompanied him. The whole family screamed out of excitement, thus celebrating his victory over fear. Once he overcame his fear, he forgot that he was once afraid of it. He did all those things he once feared. He flied straight over the sea and could see the greenery and the mountains beneath him. He screamed out of joy as he enjoyed the victory. When he landed, his family landed along with him as a gesture that they were proud. They were screaming and shouting in excitement in their high pitched voices. He then went into the sea, where at first he got scared and thus panicked. He tried escaping but got tired and weak because of hunger. Thus, when he calmed down, he started floating in the sea he was once afraid of. His family was celebrating in excitement and offered him food as praise. Finally, he had overcome his fear and made his first flight. Let's see the theme of the story. His First Flight by Lamb O'Ferretti is a story with the primary themes of having courage and self confidence. It is the tale of a baby seagull learning to fly. Now let's see the themes. The first one is overcoming fears. The baby seagull is left on a ledge by his mother, who sees he is too frightened to fly and get food. Eventually, hunger forces the seagull to find his wings and leave the ledge. The second is be cruel to be kind. The mother won't help the baby as she knows he needs to work out how to live by himself. She is being cruel to be kind, withholding her assistance so that the baby can become independent and self reliant. The third is you are more powerful than you know. The seagull surprises himself. He jumps off the ledge in desperation and finds that he can fly. His first flight is a parable. The seagulls convey the message of self confidence, motivation, and self reliance. The mother seagull motivates the young one enough to get him to learn flying. The baby seagull realizes the importance of being belief and faith. He flaps his wings to learn flying and gain the confidence to be independent. The story conveys give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. So teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. The parable also stresses the importance of family ties and filial support. So this was the theme of the chapter. Children, I hope that you all have understood it. Thank you.